2021 was a powerhouse for anime. I went into 2022 with sort of tempered expectations. The winter season kicked off a good season that ended with an overall really good year for anime. In the past, on Loos and Harlock, I used to often preview the anime I would be watching for an upcoming season and then give review scores and a quick summary of how I felt about the show. I decided to sort of continue that this year by giving a top 10 of my personal favorite / best anime of 2022. So, before I get to the top 10 list where I'll give a quick summary of the plot and my feelings on the show, with anime being made now more than ever, there are plenty of shows that were good to even great that didn't make the final cut. What would a good list be without mentions? But on a list where we're going to be talking about the best, I think it's only right to talk about the worst first. So I had actually watched all of the Data Life franchise way back, and when I saw it on the spring anime chart, I went like most weebs who've seen this show did. This show got a 4th season. Yeah, it turns out I had like binged the entire series in like 2020 or whatever, totally forgot about it, and then had to turn to a YouTube video with an automatically generated voice explaining the plot to catch up, and this show was fine. Honestly, for much of it, I could barely pay attention, and then the twist near the final few episodes happened, and I swear to God in heaven, I've never audibly gasped louder to a show than this. So, yeah, looking forward to the next installment. While I'm a connoisseur of trash, this show's baffling logic was too much even for me. The first half set me up for a trashy, stupid, borderline incest show that I'm notorious for, and the second half instead became Rent-A-Girlfriend's level of bad. More like a couple of cucks, right? Next show.
Bitch down by her takeover bill. This dude Mark mad as hell, he got scammed through Zelle.
It's about a brother and a sister that fuck.
We like a bootleg dynamic duo. Shout out TJ Casher Quan.
Okay, I know this one is gonna get me a lot of flack, but honestly, I'm gonna just keep it $1.50 with you. I've enjoyed Fumetsu no Anata, like, as a series, but I just don't feel as, like, connected to it as so many people do. I feel like so many people praise this show and think it's, like, some real good shit. I think it's just kind of like an above average show that has, like, a little bit too much pain, you know what I mean? Yeah, no?
If he pull out a gun, nigga, we gone.
This is one of the 4 manga adaptations that I looked forward to, and this one was easily the one that I was disappointed with the most. I really enjoyed this manga and was super excited to see the anime adaptation, but perhaps people were drawn too much into the hype set upon by manga readers such as myself. And the anime received a kind of lukewarm response, and yeah, for the most part, I agree. The anime adaptation was kind of really boring. And now, to the honorable mentions. This is an exception to the rule. I won't include anime from the previous years in honorable mentions if I continue doing these top 10s. Anime that continue from fall of the previous year will have their own little shoutout section, but yeah, anyone who knows me knows I fucking love Lupin. Admittedly, Part 6 wasn't as good as Part 5, but to be fair, few Lupin media is as good as Part 5. The return of the classic episodic style was a nice change of pace, even if the writing was a little awkward at times. But it's fucking Lupin. Shit's good. Watch it. Speaking of Lupin, super late this year, a prequel ONA came out depicting Lupin as a young boy. At the time of recording this video, the show hasn't ended yet, but it's pretty fun. It uses the same episodic, but kind of connected episode formula that Part 6 used, except this time it's with a baby Lupin and Jigen. I really enjoyed the first season of Komi-san, and the second season didn't disappoint. It's a wholesome tale of love. What more could you say? Now, I'm aware of the sort of negative reception that the second season of Shield Hero received, and while I agree, there were many points of the season I found myself audibly going, "What?" I ended up liking it way more than I thought I did, both at the conclusion of the show itself, and then in retrospect looking back on it. I'm very interested in seeing how Season 3 goes, and here's to hoping that it can reach the same peaks as Season 1 did. I actually caught up to the show rather late. After seeing so many people rave about it, I decided to give it a go, and man, I was not disappointed. Bocchi the Rock is genuinely one of the funniest anime this year. The development we see from our main girl is super cute, and it makes it that much more satisfying when you see her succeed. I really seriously considered putting the show on the top 10. It was that good. Check it out. Ah yes, my favorite romance. Best girl and can't speak Chan. Where have I seen this before? Oh. I like cute girls doing magical girl things and cute girls doing each other. Best of both worlds. I almost feel a little cheated putting Mob Psycho 100 Season 3 on here. Admittedly, while I like the show, I never really connected with the series as a whole. It feels good to have finally finished the anime that Harry recommended to me long ago, but I never really felt like the show's message or, general story itself resonated with me. I thought it was a very good, not great, done super well, but nothing I thought was game-changing. Despite that, I genuinely enjoyed my time watching the series, and while I think Season 2 was a perfect place to end off the story, I still enjoyed watching the conclusion. This show was real fucking funny, some real tender and cute development, and had some standout voice acting in the Japanese dub. Admittedly, I recorded this part of the video before I had actually finished watching the series. I just wanted to mention that, the final episode and a half becomes like a fucking horror anime, so yeah, that's a thing. It's a good show, though. Like I was mentioning, the Japanese dub is fantastic. Carry on, Loos. Seriously, I would do unspeakable things for Ria Takahashi. The GOAT for real. Instead of Squid Game, it's Friend Game, and I kid you not, I legit thought that there was an episode missing. It's one of the weirdest endings you will ever see. Now this is the trash that I've been striving for. I don't even need to summarize the plot. I'll admit it, I am a fan of the childhood friend. Yes, I am one of them. Despite knowing that almost 99% of the time the childhood friend will never fucking win, I actively root for them because they are usually the best girl. However, not this time around. Akari is so clearly best girl, I almost feel retroactively bad for Shiori for going up against such a juggernaut. I wonder when was the last time I felt like this. Oh. Well, now that we have all that out of the way, let's get to it. Number 10. So remember how I mentioned that there were 4 mangas that I had read that were receiving anime adaptations that I was super pumped about? Of those 4, Call of the Night was not only my most anticipated, but the one that knocked it out of the park the farthest. The show was everything I wanted, but dark and sprawling artwork transformed into one of the prettiest depictions of night I have ever seen. The wonderfully done interpretations of the characters into moving people, and the music and stellar voice acting. Call of the Night is something that I genuinely resonated with. Because of insomnia that I've been struggling with since I was a child, I became a night owl and grew to like the calmness and quietness of the night. To see Yamori, the main character, become so fixated on the night, and then in turn, morph his obsession with the freedom that the night provides into a quest to become a vampire, and in turn fall in love with the person who showed him just how truly gorgeous the night can be. Can't say it any other way than just, it hits different. Nazuna is easily a contender for Best Girl of the Year, Yamori's friends are great, and the development we receive later on in the manga is fun, the vampires we meet all get their moment to shine, and of course, you can't forget the equal parts badass, / terrifying, / weird boner that makes you question lots about yourself that you receive from Anko the detective. Now that I think about it, this show might give you a lot of boners. The show's moody, it's aesthetic, funny, and a joy to watch. Here's to hoping for Season 2. Number 9. I like myself a good mystery, so long as it's not anything related to when they cry. Jesus, I fucking hate that series. I was interested in the sort of ReZero time travel plot of Summertime Render. Also, just to clear confusion before it starts, yes, at the start of the segment, the little thingy said Summertime Render-ing. I like the romanized version of the Japanese title, which is Summertime Renda instead of the official English, so there you go. This show genuinely had me at the edge of my seat every week. When I learned that it was going to be a full 25 episode series instead of the usual single core, I got even more hyped. I wish I could say more about the show, but I'd rather not run the risk of spoiling anything. If you're a fan of mysteries, intense action, and good endings, give the show a go. It's a fucking banger. Number 8. Of the new massive Shonen Jump titles that are getting adapted, this one was one of the biggest and most hyped. Spy Family hit the ground running and just kept sprinting. The show didn't disappoint. From the amazing voice acting, the excellent music score done by No Name, to the wonderfully done animation by the tag team of Studio Wit and Cloverworks. I mean, with a plot so simple as a spy has to adopt a daughter, get himself a wife, make a family, and then somehow in the process of all of that, achieve world peace, there surely wouldn't be anything too crazy. Right? The show was originally released in 2 separate cores, with the first coming in spring and the second in fall, and a second season along with a movie have already been announced for later this year. Spy Family is great. It does everything well, the main family is a real treat to watch, the secondary characters are all fun in their own right and enjoyable when they get their screen time, and can't forget. Do yourself a favor and watch the show if you haven't already. Number 7. I'm not the biggest fan of games receiving adaptations. Most of them in general have been pretty bad to passably mediocre. When I heard that Trigger was going to make an anime based on Cyberpunk 2027, I gave the only rational response of, bro. Then after hearing everyone rave about how great Edgerunners was, I decided to take the plunge and see what I thought. The show was, in short, amazing. The 10-episode run feels both too short, and feels like it never overstayed its welcome. The characters are all super memorable, and despite the short runtime of the show, are all well fleshed out. The music was awesome, and it feels amazing as a Hispanic man to see a fellow Hispanic man get the goth girl of his dreams. The ending is heartbreaking, and the journey to get there makes it all the more better. Even if you hate the shit show that was the game, the anime is totally worth a watch, and you'll always remember, Davey Martinez, baby!
¡Échale, primo! Y a mover el bote, mi gente. De Tijuana.
Number 6. Urusei Yatsura is one of the most influential mangas of all time. The 1981 anime is classic and had several movies and OVAs, and the franchise was firmly in the Hall of Fame of anime, but then it was announced that the show would get a reboot, and as someone who always knew of the importance of Urusei Yatsura, but didn't know much about the show itself, I know I definitely had to check it out. As for how a 70s manga would hold up being remade after such a long time,
what the heck? I don't get you, I just don't get you. I'm trying to understand, but you don't wanna listen. You really don't care. It's not fair when you always tell me no. I just wanna know. It's not
even almost 50 years after its release, it's really fucking funny, man. They assembled the Avengers of seiyus for the voices of the characters, and the music is genuinely amazing. This also might be the only time I've heard Minami sing a happy song, and as a Domestic Girlfriend fan, I'm happy she's getting more work. Aside from the half dozen of beautiful women, the show is literal eye candy. David Production did a fantastic job. The colors are just so mesmerizing to look at. I mean, the attention to detail of having Lum's hair look the way it does is just mwah. Chef's kiss. I totally understand why people fell in love with Lum and wanted mangaka Rumiko Takahashi to keep her in the franchise instead of just a one-off character. She's just so amazing, and now I feel like I can have a conversation at a bar with a 57-year-old Japanese man. Whether you're looking for a real good comedy, slow burn romance, or just a wonderful time, Urusei Yatsura might be the anime for you.
More, you're all that I adore, so please be by my side forevermore. My darling, won't you please stay with me?
Number 5. This one was a bit unexpected. I just kind of decided to watch the show on a whim. I told the plot to my girlfriend at the time, and we decided to give it a go. The show became our second favorite anime that we watched together that year. Honestly, giving the first place a pretty good run for its money. It was just the right blend of everything, honestly. A romance between two adorable muffins, surprisingly hilarious comedy, and one of the stupidest Super Sentai ripoffs in the best way possible. By the way, knowing her, she would have wanted me to mention the fact that she thought the green gelato being pistachio flavored is stupid. And there's a cast of villains with schemes that give Doofenshmirtz a run for his money, and you can't forget the classic enemies to lovers romance. It's a show that just makes your heart feel full. Whether you're alone or with someone, please, just give it a go. Also, just want to mention we both thought that the Iron Princess was the hottest. Number 4.
歪んだ憂いが飛び交う中で失い膝をつく道化あの蝶は自由になれたかな情熱は孤独と燃える
Since I got back into anime in late 2018, I had heard of Classroom of the Elite and determined that I'd watch it at some point. Then I found out that after a 5-year gap, the anime would receive a season 2. I binged the first season a couple of months prior to its summer 2022 airing, and I found myself wholly loving the show and left super excited to see season 2. I think it really speaks volumes when, for as fantastic season 1 was, I truly think season 2 was just so much better. Ayano Koji has undoubtedly become one of my favorite anime characters of all time. Is it bad that I've unironically gone, oh, he's just like me when it comes to him? Anyway. While the show is classified as a psychological thriller, I think the genre on Wikipedia should be changed to fucking banger. In the same announcement that season 2 was announced, the third season was also announced. Don't waste any time. Catch up with both seasons and watch in excitement for season 3. You'll thank me later. Number 3. I don't think I could properly give Kaguya-sama more superlatives even if I tried. The show's blend of comedy, romance, serious emotional movements, and polish are all just done so well that it feels like after 3 seasons I've known these characters, their motivations, their dreams and desires all my life. Of course, a massive shout out must go to the GOAT of GOATs and veteran Japanese singer Masayuki Suzuki for giving us 3 straight all-time bangers for opening songs. Update. I've heard the opening theme for the Kaguya movie, and I've heard enough. He is him. I've mentioned it before to friends, but now I have the place to state it publicly. I'm anime only, and I don't want to see any spoilers from the manga. If Kaguya nails its ending, it not only earns a spot in my 3x3, it is definitely one of my top 5 anime series of all time. Can't give a better review than that.
Your love, won't you confess it to me? Oh yeah.
Number 2. There is perhaps no anime since the advent of the internet to be more highly anticipated than Chainsaw Man. Tatsuki Fujimoto's manga, originating in Shonen Jump, rose through popularity, and in December 2020, it was announced that animation powerhouse MAPPA would receive the honor of bringing the manga to life. In no time, the official trailer for the show on MAPPA's YouTube channel has over 15 million views at the time of writing. With such massive expectations placed upon it, how did it do?
くしてレッスンピース待っていこうぜいつか見た地獄もいいところ呼ばらまいて I love you けなしてくれ全部奪って笑ってくれ My honey Don't let me lie beautiful star Don't let me lie beautiful star Don't let me lie beautiful star なんか忘れちゃってんだ
There was almost no way that Chainsaw Man was going to meet the hype placed upon it. And especially when it was announced that the show would only be 12 episodes long, manga readers tempered their expectations a bit. I feel towards Chainsaw Man a bit of the same way I did towards Jujutsu Kaisen when it was first released. I wish I could give its first season a 10 out of 10. I wish I could gush about just how much I absolutely loved it to death. How I thought it was not only one of my favorite shows to have come out this year, but maybe ever. But I can't. Because I know it's only gonna get better. I'm waiting in bated breath for the second season, and knowing that, at the time of writing, the manga is still ongoing with part 2 has just made me even more hyped. Even if I don't get a masterpiece like I was promised to me by so many people online, I know I'm going to love the show either way. Denji as the lead character has already enthralled me and made me emotionally attached to him and his journey, and I wait to see his future, to see him grow and learn, to see him fail and get back up, and to ultimately see him have a better life than the one we found him in. The show's whole vibe, the characters opposite Denji who make the show just that much better, the wonderful music done by Kensuke Ushio, the outstandingly well done animation, and yes, I include even the CGI, which I thought was really well done, all things considered. I love this show, man. And despite all that, you might be wondering how it didn't earn the top spot. Well, and finally, number 1.
さんさんキラリラした大切なもの忘れないからそうこの日は
This might seem a bit anticlimactic, especially for how much I raved about Chainsaw Man, but when a top 10 list is made by someone, I think it's important to not only include which things were objectively good, but to include things that you felt were good on a personal level. And there was no show I had a more personal connection to in 2022 than My Dress-Up Darling. For 12 straight weeks, no matter what was going on in our lives, no matter the challenges we were potentially facing, no matter with anything, me and my then girlfriend would sit down and watch this show together. While that alone might make a show more special, My Dress-Up Darling is a genuinely wonderful show. I'm a massive fan of romance stories, and our main couple, Marin Kitagawa and Wakana Gojo, were such a nice breath of fresh air. Gojo's journey to not only improve himself as a person, but improve at the craft that he is so passionate about really tugs at the heartstrings of a person like me who feels a lot of the same insecurities that he does. Mari's dedication to Gojo is so damn admirable. She doesn't just see him as a guy who helps with her cosplay hobby, he's one of her bestest friends. She loves him for not any other reason than just the fact that he is himself. Helps that he's also a pretty cute tall glass of water. Damn! The dedication mangaka Shinichi Fukuda shows towards cosplay and all the facets that go into it is really damn cool. And not for nothing, but as a Domestic Girlfriend fan, I know female artists are pretty damn good at drawing women. My Dress Up Darling is such a cute and heartwarming story that it just makes you melt when you watch. Despite initially not planning on it, because of its massive success, the show has a second season on the way, and honestly, I can't wait. I can't wait to be in their world again. I can't wait to hear Marin gush about how cute Gojo is. I can't wait for Gojo to grow further and become a master at his Hina doll craft. I can't wait for my heart to feel that warm again. And that was my list for the best anime of 2022. 2023 looks to be another really good year of anime, and I look forward to making another one of these videos. This video was kind of unplanned. Shut up, car. Randomly after finishing the phone game video, I just decided to make a best anime of 2022 video, so fun times. If you want to know all the anime I watched in 2022, I included it in the description along with the score I gave it on Mal. While I'm at it, I also included my Mal profile in the description so you have another way to bully me. The upcoming months are going to be a lot more gaming focused videos, so I might have an actual way to describe my content for once. At least for a little while until I decide to do something really random like, I don't know, halfway through April or something. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please feel free to comment about how garbage my anime taste is, and if you're going to belittle me, at least have the decency to subscribe. Thanks for watching. Catch you later.